Hello, I'm Matthew, and today I'm going to do a review of the E600LFP Pecron power station. I have already tried this thing out for several weeks now, and I have to say it is a beast. It performs very well. Given the price of this unit and the power it has available and the features that are on it, I can definitely say this is the best bang for your buck. It is a very well performing unit and very reasonably priced. And before I get started with the review, I just want to let you know that there will actually be two videos on two different channels from me on this power station. This video will be about me using the power station with my metal fabrication business and how I like to use it on site a lot. The other video can be found on my other channel. I will link to it at the end of this video and in the description below, and it'll be about how I love using the power station for van life and camping. Why should you listen to my opinion on a power station? Well, I have done on-site welding since the early 90s, and one of the things that has always annoyed me is when I've had to start my generator just to run a hand grinder or a corded drill for just a few seconds. Immediately I started looking into inverters and adding them to my vehicles so I could run some power tools without having to start my generator. And I even made myself a little box here with an inverter and some batteries and a charge controller in it, years before I even knew what a power station was. So I've got almost 30 years of experience of playing with alternate ways to have power when I don't have the grid handy. But now I don't have to play with this DIY stuff. I can just buy something right off the shelf. With units like this, they've got the charge controllers and the battery management and everything already built in there. It's smart, it knows what to do. All you gotta do is plug it in and charge it, plug in your tools and use them. So this is the E600. And it has a 1200 watt pure sine wave inverter built into it, which is mostly what I'm interested in. The USB charging is pretty darn nice. Even the wireless phone charger up on top is pretty darn handy in this day and age. And the first thing I want to mention is that it has a lithium iron phosphate battery in this. This gives you a lot more cycles than just a regular lithium battery. At 3,500 cycles, this battery is still going to be above 80% of its new capacity. So you could use it every day for 10 years and barely notice a difference in its cycle. And most likely you're not going to be draining it clear down and charging it clear back up full every day. So this thing ought to last for years and years. And I will tell you straight up, having the lithium iron battery in here is one of the reasons I agreed to doing a review to this, because the majority of power stations out there only use lithium, not the lithium iron, and that means they're going to have a lot shorter lifespan. But for me, I'm mostly interested in the 120 volt outlets. So when I go on site and repair some customer's equipment, I don't have to start my generator for every little thing I do. One of the things I find myself frequently needing to use for just a few seconds is a hand grinder. So I did a little test to see which hand grinders it would run. All right, I'm going to try a couple angle grinders here real quick. This is a 7 amp angle grinder, and this is a 11 amp angle grinder. This is 1200 watt nominal inverter. So this 11 amp may not start up. This is a 7 amp angle grinder. And this is a 11 amp angle grinder. This one is 9 amps, so we'll see if it can start this one. I'm really glad that I had these 3 different grinders of 3 different amps to show you how the software on this power station behaves and how it knows what's going on and will shut things down, you know, limit the output, make sure stuff is not getting overloaded. It did fine with the 7 amp angle grinder, Did the nice soft start for the 9 amp angle grinder and never would let the 11 amp start up. So even though this is 1200 watts and that should be able to run 10 amps at 120 volts, it's struggling to start these motors because electric motors have such a high initial startup draw. But yeah, for your small angle grinders, absolutely no problem. Okay, so we actually know it'll start the hand grinder, but will it actually grind anything? Hopefully you can see the indicator up there. I'll try to keep an eye on it and let you know how much juice it's pulling. Alright, just using it kind of normally like a person should. It was pulling about 1,000 watts, kind of bobbling either side of 1,000. And I really tried to gouge it in there. Oh, got an error. Nice, that worked. It overloaded and shut down, very good. And then I tried to go crazy and it went way up over the, well, I don't even know, I couldn't even see it. It went through the roof in watts and then it shut itself off. So, works as it should. Try it one more time just for fun here. So using a grinder like a normal person, it'll run it just fine. It's just when you get crazy and really try to dig in that it shuts off. Another tool that I really don't like having a generator run for the entire time I'm using it is the Magdrill. And I actually frequently go and drill holes on customer stuff because they know I have a Magdrill. So let's see if the Pecron can drill us an 1.1/8" diameter hole through 1/2 plate. It'll be demanding quite a bit of it. This is a 1,300 watt rated motor, so a little above the 1,200, but that's at full load, and I don't crank these things down at full load ever. So we'll see here. I don't know if you can see that display at all, so I'll try to yell at the watts to you so you can know what it's pulling. All right, first we'll turn on the magnet. And that is pulling, it's bouncing around 160 watts. Not 400 watts on the display, just under 400 there. Down between 800 and 900 at this point. I think at 950 there. I'm having a hard time reading it myself. $1,100 if I push it hard. I don't know if it was a full charge when I turned it on. It actually did say 100% on the display, but I know I've done a couple things already with it. It's down to 98% now. So even if it used 2% of the battery, you could drill a lot of holes before having to recharge the battery. It's stuff like that that I'm really excited to have this power station for, because this saved me from starting my welder. All right, let's find something else to play with. Another tool that I use for short amount of times frequently is my portable bandsaw. I needed to change the coupler on my trailer over here, so I thought I'd give the power station a whirl, running my little portable bandsaw instead of having to string out a 150-foot extension cord to get out to it. It worked really well. Very impressed with it once again. And of course this thing is great for power outages. You can run a lamp so you can see what you're doing, This lamp has a 5-watt LED bulb in it. It's literally showing 0 watts on the output here. It is plugged into it. There's the cord. So you could run a 5-watt lamp for 51 hours. Well, I got 51 hours left. I'm down to 84% battery already. So, I mean, you could run a 5-watt lamp for days on this. You might be able to run your refrigerator for a little while, depending on how many watts your compressor draws. 129. Oh, I heard it kick in. You hear it running? Hopefully the microphone picked it up and you can hear it running. So pretty good little surge. It's like 500 watts or something start up, and now it's 113 watts just running. And when your battery finally does run out, there's multiple ways to recharge your power station. When you get back to the grid, Pecron includes a nice power supply that you can plug in that charges through the GX16MF port, which is capable of inputting 400 watts of power back into this power station. But if you're in your vehicle, Pecron includes this 12-volt adapter, which uses the 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter barrel port and is able to recharge your power station up to 100 watts. But if you still find yourself off-grid and in need of a recharge, Pecron also includes this MC4 to GX16MF port, which allows you to pump up to 400 watts of power via solar into your power station. And if this E600 with 614 watt hours of battery and a 1200 watt inverter on it isn't big enough for your needs, then check out their website because they have other models available. And speaking of their website, if you're interested in getting one of these, please check the description below because I will have a discount code down there along with a link to follow. If you want to see how useful the Pecron power station can be for car camping, van lifing, or when you have a power outage at home, then check out my other video here. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I may or may not see them.